A viewer of a previous Men in Plaid episode named Ashley asked us, how do I become more secure? That's a great question, and so we've made it the topic for this installment of the Attachment and Health Chalkboard Talk.
You need to know a little bit about the different forms that insecure attachment can take to make sense of this. So if the entire topic is new to you, please watch our first video, Intro to Adult Attachment, before you watch this one.
The first thing to say is that there is no reason that a person with a dismissing or even a preoccupied or fearful attachment style should want or need to become more secure. All attachment styles start out as adaptations to whatever our experience with others is like. For most people, it is enough to know your style so that you can work with it and work around it.
However, some people are unhappy with the insecurities they experience in close relationships and want to feel more secure. If that's how you feel, then becoming more secure is a goal for you.
Changing your attachment style is a fairly major goal. Our styles of interacting with the people we count on and love have developed over a long time in our earliest years, and they tend to be quite stable.
But they can change. The evidence from observing people over decades suggests they change in a couple of predictable ways.
The first way that attachment styles tend to change is that people who experience a lot of adversity in their lives can become more dismissing. That means that they learn over time not to look needy or vulnerable, and they try not to depend too much on others. It's a strategy to defend themselves against pain and trouble. They toughen up and learn to look after themselves.
That accounts for why some people who are secure as children and then live through very challenging childhood and teenage years turn out to be dismissing as young adults. The same kind of process may account for why dismissing attachment is more common in the elderly than it is in younger adults. As one gets older, there are more chances to experience adversity, such as the death of loved ones, that can tip a person towards a dismissing style.
The second way that attachment styles change over time gets at the answer to our question from Ashley. That is, that people who start out with a lot of attachment anxiety can become more secure over time. People who are troubled by feeling unworthy and fear rejection or being a burden, and who feel insecure when they are on their own too much, can experience some relief in that anxiety over time.
This is what Mary Main called earned security, because it is security that doesn't arrive early in life, it is earned later on. Earning security amounts to developing three really important interpersonal skills. They lie at the core of satisfying relationships. So what does earned security look like?
The skills of earned security are the ability to think reflectively or mentalize, the ability to tell a personal story well, and the ability to be interpersonally effective, to act as an active agent in your own life.
Mentalizing means being able to think about your own thoughts and feelings without just reacting to them. It means being curious and interested in your inner world, but not automatically convinced about your assumptions and reactions to things. It also means having a similar curiosity and openness to what other people might be thinking and feeling.
Telling a coherent story requires giving another person the context and information they need to be able to follow your story, and keeping in mind the main points of the story so that your listener doesn't lose the forest for the trees. That requires keeping your listener's mind in your mind.
Telling a coherent story also means being able to express emotions that fit the story without being undone by them. It means including details and examples that illustrate the main points and keep people engaged. So telling a coherent story is a complex skill and, in the end, is a very social skill. There's no such thing as telling a coherent story all by yourself.
Finally, earning security means developing the ability to be an active agent in your life. People with a lot of attachment anxiety often know what to do in order to move toward their goals with other people. They just don't do it. Earning security requires getting over that hump.
So how do people who start off with a lot of attachment anxiety earn security? The evidence is that it happens in two main ways.
First, some people find security in relationships with others.
That doesn't just mean they feel more secure when they're with someone else.
It means that they find the person or people who allow them to develop the skills of mentalizing, narrative coherence, and agency over time. Often we think that happens in a romantic relationship that goes particularly well over years.
The characteristics that allow a partner to grow more secure are probably things like consistency and respect and good communication. It can certainly only happen in a relationship that is safe. Reciprocity means that you take care of each other.
A relationship that is good in these ways consistently challenges an insecure person's expectation that they will be abandoned or rejected or overruled or undervalued, and can give them the base from which to develop their own sense of security. This may not be enough to work for everybody, but we think it works for some people.
The second way that people earn security is in psychotherapy. Evidence from several studies shows that psychotherapy can help people to experience greater security. This doesn't necessarily depend on the kind of psychotherapy, but it may depend on the therapist's skills and on having a good match.
Presumably, therapy can work this way because when it is done right, therapy provides an environment in which a person can feel safe and learn to reflect on what they think and what others think, and learn to tell a more coherent story about themselves with someone who is actively trying to help build and understand that story.
It may also be that when treatment reduces anxiety and depression and other aspects of mental illness, that allows a person to find more security in their close relationships as a kind of happy byproduct of being less ill overall.
So, can you become more secure if that is what you want? Absolutely yes. But it is a major goal, and for most of us, to at least some extent, becoming more secure is a life's work.
It is work in which the process of engaging with others in ways that are more active, more reciprocal, and more mutually rewarding is even more important than the goal.
If you want to know more about attachment and how it relates to health, you could read our book, Love, Fear, and Health. I did the Vanna White there. It's pretty good, eh?